TVs.
Oh,
It's Wednesday. You know what time it is. Time for the hottest wrestling podcast on the planet with your host, the silent assassin, good old JP Mayer, and Princess Pretty Girl Luna.
Live and in the flesh.
Dollar Bill, the cleaner, and the brain. Welcome to the Brain Trust.
Dun dun.
Dun dun dun
Dun dun.
Dun 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 dun.
Happy Wednesday, y'all.
Yes, indeedy. Yes, indeedy.
Wednesday. Getting down on Wednesday.
Indeed, baby.
Wednesday.
So, gentlemen,
yes.
last week we participated in our latest draft. This
We
week,
started it.
yeah. This week I had tried to plan a little something special for us. I'm hoping that this surprise will come about, but we will give him a little bit of time until then.
The surprise is we're all booked on NXT.
Hell no, we're all booked on TNA. Because we're going to end up on NXT anyways.
Exactly. I'll just put it back and forth.
And in case y'all don't know, we are live on YouTube right now. Please
Indeed.
follow us there.
Yes, indeed. Click that subscribe button. Click that notification bell. We go live every Wednesday, 10:30 or thereabouts.
Yes, and your help gets me food for Luna.
Indeed.
Yes.
That way she doesn't have to open up her only polls again.
Not even gonna go there. I'm not even gonna touch that with a 12-foot pole.
Or doghouse.
So, I just got a message from somebody. He will be here momentarily.
Mm-hmm. Not bad.
And it's not the person that's in the bottom left corner right now.
No, it is not. However,
Oh,
Lord,
what a shock.
Kilroy,
He's at the bar.
Kilroy's here again. All right, gentlemen, we are all Jersey All-Pro alumni.
Yes.
Loosely. With the exception of JP, I think.
Oh, hell no.
I went to a
JP's big
couple.
time. JP's
Oh.
Jersey All-Pro.
I thought like actually working for them, like in a in-ring capacity.
Yeah, no. I didn't work.
No, as far as I'm concerned, anybody who ever went to a Jersey All-Pro show is a Jersey All-Pro alumni, whether you work there or not. So I was working on a little bit of a surprise. He's on his way in. However, I also worked on a second surprise. And he will be here in a little while.
Oh. We got two.
Yes, indeed. We got two.
Man, too bad we had no sound effects.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's not even 2 for Tuesday. It's 2 for Wednesday.
Hey.
It's Wild Card Wednesday.
I like that better.
But
Are you in the bathroom taking a dump?
What the fuck?
That's not a bathroom.
No, he's definitely not in the bathroom.
I was gonna say, like, what bathroom has a
in the
double door
hallway.
like
I'm
that?
waiting for them to let me into the choir room, so that's why I'm on mic. I'm muted right now.
Well, not for nothing. You can stay muted.
That's fucked up.
Well, you're number two. If I'm number one, you're number two.
Number one, I order you go take a number two.
All right. Everybody's pretty.
No, there's only one pretty one here, and that's Princess Pretty Girl Luna.
That's what my mom calls me, pretty.
Wait, what?
No,
Yeah, and then she mumbles the word ugly.
Yeah.
Come here. Say hi, everybody.
There's the Princess Pretty Girl.
JP woke me up so I could say hi to you all.
How rude, JP. Why are you
Okay,
picking her?
let me go now. I said hi. There we go.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, no,
Leave me alone.
Yeah, no, she gone. She immediately plopped right back down next to me.
Yeah, she's done.
Yeah, she's like, yeah, fuck this.
Yeah, I ain't playing that game. But who are some of your favorite guys in Jersey All Pro?
Chris Dickinson.
Excellent choice.
I would probably have to say JAPW's greatest student, Jay Lethal.
Can never go wrong with Black Machismo.
EYFBO.
Assassin.
Been a while since I went to a Jersey All Pro.
Dude, it's been a while since everybody's been to a Jersey All Pro.
Yeah.
Fucking idiot.
Like 7 years already.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Favorite
Dude, here's your sign.
Shit.
I would have to say Don Moff.
Yeah. Can never go wrong with the Bayonne Badass.
Also can't go wrong with the notorious 187.
Homicide. The man
All right.
just tired.
Yeah. But the thing is, you put Moff, I put the whole team together as like one of my favorites.
Yeah.
The hit
DHS.
squad.
is-
The hit squad.
You
And
know this team.
What about the other iteration of that team? The heavy hitters. Mac and Havoc.
Yeah, that's another one.
I got one.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
What about Dixie?
Dixie, yes. Dixie was good, man.
Insane Dragon had me laughing though.
Funny thing is, I'm actually real close to both of them. Well, more closer to Dixie than Insane Dragon, but more closer to Dixie.
What's he doing these days?
Just chilling, relaxing.
Sweet.
Did you catch him at OJ Max in Bayonne sometimes, or goes to CWB once in a blue moon? But mostly by OJ Max. Shout out.
Mhm.
Not done on purpose either. Oh, what about Magic?
Oh, can't go wrong
Magic,
with Sensei.
magic. No,
Can't
you
go wrong
can't.
with Sensei. All right,
Who's
how
more
about somebody in the light heavyweight division? How about Bandito Jr.?
How
Deranged.
about Arcadia?
Azrael.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Az.
Nah,
Oh,
Azrael.
God, yeah.
Azrael's awesome.
What was his name? Smiley? Happy? Smiley, right?
Smiley. Yeah, with the
Smiley,
multiple
yeah.
wearing the multiple masks.
Yeah, he did. He's funny. He's good.
Yeah. How about the selfie superstar? Too Hot Steve Scott.
Coming at selfie time.
Oh yeah, he's good. Oh wait, Danny DeManto,
The cold-hearted player.
aka the guy.
Almost took you in the cleaner out.
Well, I got out of the way. It was the idiot fans that almost got out. It's a long story, guys.
Dude, that was nasty.
Listen, when a guy who is what 230, what was he? 230, 240 at that time?
I think so.
240, I think.
He was moonsaulting right next to me. You're gonna stand there and look in awe.
Yeah, but you have to listen to me. I tell you to move the fuck out of the way.
I mean,
Sorry.
To be
Yeah,
fair,
but
I
this
would have looked too.
This is the cleaner.
I was just lost in the moment.
Yeah,
And I-
watching him fly.
And then I have the brain over here yelling at me, and he was like, "What are you guys doing?" I'm doing my job. He just standing there looking like a fan instead of an employee.
Well, to be honest, I was horrified. I was in shock
Mm.
of what
I know.
happened. So my body shut down.
And the funny thing is, I knew about the spot because I overheard them planning it pre-match when we were setting up the ring.
Nice. Shit.
So that's how I knew about the spot. I didn't know he was gonna freaking break his knee in 2 places.
didn't break his knee.
Broke his leg.
Broke his femur.
Whatever. Broke his femur.
Broke his femur.
Everything.
Yeah, he broke the barricade. He broke the femur. He almost broke the cleaner.
Yeah.
It was always-
To be honest,
Well,
to be honest,
Well,
if
guys-
he landed on me, I would have probably broke his fall.
he still would have broke his leg because he hit the barricade.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what,
Hmm.
you taking that landing from Danny would have been worse than what I took from Necro Butcher.
Oh shit.
let's go to that story.
Let's not go back to that story. We've gone through that story many times.
I mean, I could just watch it.
I wish I could. I can't find the video of it.
The
The video does not exist. For some
so
reason,
therefore,
I don't think that show was recorded. It's
But
not
how
on Jersey. It's not on Ring of Honor's website.
that's crazy.
Gentlemen, we have a monster among us.
Uh-oh.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jersey All-Pro legend, Jersey All-Pro Hall of Famer, Steve Monster Mack.
What's going on, guys? How's everybody?
What's up, brother? How you been?
We're not worthy.
We're not worthy. Indeed, we are not worthy.
It's been a while, man.
Man, it's been a minute, brother.
Yeah, hot minute. How you guys doing? You all right?
We're doing good,
Yeah.
bro. Thank you.
It's a party.
Just-
up in here. That's what's up.
Oh hell yeah, man. I told you. Every one of these guys is a Jersey All-Pro alumni.
Nice.
Mm,
Come on.
Come on, Mac. You remember Calm Before the Storm.
Yeah.
Bottom row, left and center, almost got taken out.
Yep.
yeah.
That was that. I mean, that seemed to happen every show, whether it was me, Moff, Homicide, Teddy Hart. Everybody seemed to have gotten their physical blessings being at a JAP show.
Yeah.
Yeah. I unfortunately got my physical blessing at a Ring of Honor show.
See?
But I got it but I ended up getting it from a Jersey All-Pro legend.
Who would you get it from?
Necro.
Nice.
That's right. Okay, now we have to go into that story again because Mac doesn't know the story.
All right, go for it.
I was at a Ring of Honor show down in Edison
Mhm.
with Dollar Bill, his girlfriend, Country Girl, Joanne,
Mhm.
and our other friend, Jack Swagger.
Mm.
Oh, Lord. No. Am I seeing things? We got some magic happening in the house.
Going on, Magic?
What's up, everybody? What's up,
What's up,
Steve?
gentlemen?
Chilling.
Same old man, getting old, you know.
So
Feel you.
we were just talking about we talked about Calm Before the Storm real quick, and then he says everybody got their blessings at physical blessings at the Jersey All-Pro shows. I unfortunately got my physical blessings at a Ring of Honor show, and I was telling Mac started to tell Mac the story when you popped in.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, how I was at a Ring of Honor show with Dollar Bill, Country Girl, and our friend Jack Swagger, and he was fighting Kevin Steen.
All
That
right,
goes
all right.
Kevin Steen into the barricade in front of me. We're sitting on the corner. It's me, Dollar Bill, and Joanne on one side, and our friend Jack Swagger on the other side. And I'm talking to them. I turn to him. I turn back. They're gone. And next thing I see is a 275-pound man coming over the top of the barricade and landing on top of me. Necro done crushed me.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
Yeah. I rolled back just a little bit and kind of caught him as he came down. But I still caught a beating on that one.
Did Necro apologize?
When he rolled off, he looked at me. He says, "John." He recognized me from Jersey All Pro.
All right.
So he's like,
he remembered you.
yeah. And then trainers came out. They brought me to the back, checked me out. I was fine. I cut the inside of my lip, of my jaw from biting down on my inside of my cheeks. I get checked on by the trainers. I got checked on by some of the Ring of Honor executives. But two of the best that came over to check on me were those crazy redneck kung fu motherfuckers from Delaware.
Them boys.
Them boys, the Briscoes.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Mark said, "You got a nickname now. You're called Crunch."
So,
yeah.
with the night that Homicide won the Ring of Honor title, Grim Reaper and I, we were in the crowd, and Adam Pearce, and I'm trying to remember who else was in the run-in, but Adam Pearce and somebody else came out to attack Homicide on behalf of Brian Danielson. So Reefer and I had to hop the guardrails to get into the ringside area. Reefer was in front of me, and he was running full speed. And Reefer, we all know, he's an insane athlete. He jumped over the guardrail in a single bound, and I was like, all right, cool. When I look, there was a guy in a wheelchair in front of me that he just jumped over. So I grabbed the guy's handlebars and I pulled him back. But the problem was when I pulled him back, he fell back straight back. So I had
Let me guess, he had his brakes on.
Yeah, well, he had his brakes on, exactly. And he fell straight back. And I looked back and I was like, oh my God, are you okay? He was like, man, that's fucking great. Just go do what you gotta do.
Oh my God.
Gotta love it.
Yes.
I love fans that are like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, so do I. Well, we all are fans like that, man.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, how many times did the action spill out of the ring at Jersey All Pro, and we're all out there helping Vic with keeping the crowd back from the action?
Yeah, but they don't freaking listen.
Dude,
They don't listen.
no, they don't. But we all had a good time at Jersey All Pro, man.
Yeah.
Those were days.
One time I want to bring up, I always felt a little bad for this because I know it was like right before doors opened, but the last Jersey All Pro show I got to go to was one I helped out at. And I was working Matt Riddle's autograph line.
God. Oh my
and
God.
we could not find him. And I remember coming, like I went to the back, could not find him. I came up to you, Mac, and I was like, do you know where Matt Riddle is? And you were just like, no. And I guess, you were busy with something. I felt so bad because I felt like, I came across wrong or like, you didn't, like, you might have thought I was a fan or something like that. I tend to overthink things, but yeah, no, that's the one thing I'm always going to remember.
He was in his car smoking weed.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Ain't we all fans?
Go ahead.
Surprised you how?
I say, ain't we all fans of wrestling?
Absolutely, Sensei.
Yeah.
What's the question you got, Mac?
Oh no, I was saying that was a big surprise that you found him smoking weed in his car.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, big surprise.
That day was one
That's
of the
like
first
90% of wrestlers.
Yeah, pretty much. That day was
Bro.
the first day that I was like in charge of JP, like running everything. So if
Yeah.
I was a little pissy, it's because I had 900 other problems that I was trying to handle at the same time.
No, yeah, I didn't want to come across the wrong way because I was just asked by Jeff to help out for the autographs. But I'll tell you what, I helped out with Keith Lee during the intermission. Man, couldn't be a sweeter guy.
Yeah, Keith Lee is one of the best. I miss him on TV. I miss him hanging out in the locker rooms with us. He was one of the coolest guys that we've met in the last 10 years or so.
Yeah, like he
was awesome.
He looked me directly in the eye, shook my head, said, "Thank you for helping out. I really appreciate this." Man, I was like, I'm a fan of yours forever now.
I love Keith Lee.
Keith Lee, geez, had a great match that night.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they did.
I remember because I worked with you, Cleaner, because you obviously I was handling the money. You were handling the crowd to make sure that no one went where they weren't supposed to go. I remember that.
And I do remember also with Riddle specifically. I was taking the pictures.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I also remember he asked us to put away his merch and bring it back to the back. And I thought that was I thought that was a little weird because it was like you don't know what we could do with it. And then I know the first thing on top was the PWG World Tag Title.
Not much, man.
But he won the night before.
Well, here's the one thing I could tell you, right? I've been around. I fought a lot of people. Matt Riddle is one of the last people I would.
They're not going to.
Oh yeah. He's a UFC fighter. I'm not gonna say no to him.
Exactly. You know what I mean? And if you took anything and he found out, hey, bro, that's not cool, bro. I'm gonna have to thrash you now.
It'd be like the chillest ass beating you could ever get.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then he'd offer you a blunt after. He'd be like, bro, so is bad.
And every time he hit you, he'd be like, bro.
Yeah, exactly. More like that. Man. Take a hit every punch.
Puff, bro. Puff,
punch.
Bro.
That should be his finisher. Puff, punch.
So what have you been up to, Mac?
Yeah, Mac.
Not much. Just handling things down at Titan. I'm their Titan Championship Wrestling General Manager. I just wrestled Michael Fane 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes, I let everybody know it's probably going to be my last singles match at Titan. Pretty much everywhere. So I'm not saying it's my last match, but my last singles match. To be honest, I'm beat, I'm tired, I'm sore, I'm old, all the good things, and I just want to relax and chill, and I enjoy running things behind the scenes and helping out with all the younger talent out there. Kind of like what Magic has been my whole career. Be a mentor, someone who shows everybody to lead by example.
Thank you.
Because I learned from Magic. You know what I mean? So,
I learned from you as well, brother.
There's nothing I could have taught you. You knew everything before
I
even showed up.
I knew everything, but you as a student, you went on and you did, how you say it, you didn't take shit. You know what I mean? You say, I'm the nice guy. You're like, you gotta cut that out a little bit.
Well, you gotta be a little mean sometimes.
You know me, I'm always like, I don't care, man. I go in, have fun, and leave. Don't stiff me.
Yeah.
Don't stiff me. I'm too old to get stiff, but you got to stiff me.
You, right, Magic? Did I ever stiff you?
No, not really. You was tight. I love being tight. Every time we wrestled each other, we were like having fun, man. We laughed.
There was
You
one
know,
time in
and-
Bayonne where I was throwing Magic against the wall. I kept whipping them into the
Yes.
wall. We were trying to break the wall to get to the other side.
Side,
It was
yeah.
great. Real machines if you watch it.
Break
We're
on
both-
through to the other side.
Yeah, we were both laughing
We-
though. And
Yeah.
Magic kept going. Do it
God.
again. Do it again.
One more time.
That gave new meaning to the term wall. Wall.
Yeah, pretty
Wall.
much.
Yeah.
Wall.
Well, it was easy. It wasn't much we had to do. Everybody was watching the ring, and we were just doing our thing, to kill time. And I was like, "Yo, Steve, throw me in the wall again." And I was like, "Throw me again, throw me again." We was trying to crack the wall or something. And then,
Yeah.
that was our stupidity because we shouldn't be trying to break the wall.
Well, but do you remember what was on the other side of the wall?
Within the fish shop,
It
fish.
was the 99-cent store that was owned by the people who, at the day after 9/11, they disappeared.
Wow.
Remember that?
Yeah, I remember we knocked a lot of stuff off the shelf
Yep,
because they said
exactly. The next day, Jeff Pierre.
it. Yeah, I thought it was a fish tackle place. Yeah,
No,
I thought it was a fish tackle.
After it became a fish tackle place.
Oh.
But when we were wrestling that night, it was a dollar store that
Wow.
we all said
Wow.
was owned by Al Qaeda, but we don't know for sure.
Oh yeah, right.
Wow.
Damn.
I
Thank
know.
God thank God we didn't get this. We didn't disappear from messing up their store.
There's the All Pro. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
So I got to tell you, Mac, one of my favorite matches that you were involved in was a triple threat match, a triple threat tag team match.
Mhm.
Because there was some serious shenanigans going on in Jersey All Pro at the time. Because you had you and Havoc as the heavy hitters
Mm-hmm.
going against the Hillbilly Wrecking Crew, Necro Butcher and Brody Lee.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had this invasion angle going from CZW with the Hate Club coming in and causing problems.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm pretty sure we were at
It was
Golden
Raw.
Door Charter School, Jersey
Actually,
City.
That one was Rawway. That was the
That's
anniversary.
right.
Rawway.
That was at Rawway, but the match itself happened at Golden Door.
Mm.
I think it happened at Golden Door on 10th Street in Jersey City,
Mhm.
right by Newport Mall.
Yeah, I remember the spot. Yeah.
But
We used to have all kinds of crazy, chaotic matches.
Mhm.
That one was special because, for those of you that don't know, Havoc passed away a few years ago.
yeah, we know that.
He was I was just watching a match with me and him yesterday, and I was discussing how special I thought he was. He was great with Papa Don as a member of the Solution. And I love teaming up with Havoc. He was such a funny guy outside of the ring, and he was somebody that I enjoyed working with because every time we would work, I would push something new out of him. He always was kind of reserved in his wrestling, and the more we wrestled, the more of a beast he became. Like, he was doing things like he did the fallaway slam on one of the Nigerian Nightmares. That the smallest one was like 450 pounds.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and like he was throwing people around, and like I loved watching him progress and become nastier every show.
Yeah.
And there's a little inside thing that weekend of the three-way that you're talking about. That weekend, like all the guys that were there, like Eddie Kingston, Low Key, Homicide, Havoc, a lot of the guys stayed at my house because we had a show Friday night, and we went to go do JAP the next night. But the next morning, we wake up, and my living room was filled with wrestlers. It looks like a hot mess. And Eddie Kingston wakes up early, and I ask him and Havoc, I'm like, you guys want anything from McDonald's? And everybody wakes up when they hear that, and and
like gophers
so,
popping
like,
out of the
everybody-
holes.
yeah, so everybody's giving their orders, and the last one is Havoc, and he goes, "Oh, I'll just have a parfait because when Loki's there, nobody wants to be a fat ass. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants to be, nope, I'm working out. I'm in shape. Screw that. So he says, I just want a parfait.
How do you go to a McDonald's
What?
person, give them this big ass food order and then a
He
parfait?
goes, parfait? What the fuck is that? So then for the rest of his life, Eddie takes to call Havoc parfait. Every time we do show, what up, parfait? So Havoc got a little pissed about that. And he was a little extra stiff in that three-way that day. But,
I'm sure.
rest in peace, Havoc.
You know,
man.
also, a couple years ago, we lost Nate Hatred.
Yep.
Lost him in a
rest his
car
soul.
accident.
Yeah. We, me and Moff were one of the last tag teams to wrestle the Hate Club. Nick Gage and Nate Hatred. And,
At GCW.
Yep. And for all the stuff that people talked about, CZW, JAP, whatever, for the wrestlers, there was no real rivalry. Everybody, when we were behind the scenes, everybody got along well. But in front, for the fans, you know, the big beef was JAP, CZW. And in reality, there was no real beef because CZW was the king of ultra violence. There was no way anybody was going to be able to compete. And for a long time, they held that title for a reason, you know, the king of the ultra violence. And with JP, because of that, that's where you saw Homicide, Low Key, myself and Moff, Magic and Suba, you know, Dixie, Deranged, Dragon. You saw all the guys focus on wrestling and become more of a strong style wrestling, competitive wrestling style for JP.
Yeah.
And it was because of that feud. But, you know, Nick Gage and Nate Hatred, they represented that flag harder than most. You know, Trent Acid as well, another person, you know, who's gone way too soon. But there was a lot of guys that were in that CZW JAP war, but we all got along great. I love Trent Acid. He was one of my favorite people to be around too. Every time I would see him, he would do like a 20-yard sprint and jump on my back like a backpack, you know, and I think about that often. I go, what up, guys? I think about that all the time. I think about Havoc, you know, Big Rig, Brody Lee. He was another guy that we were really cool with. And, you know, and they even going all the way back to Russ Haas, you know, there's been a lot of brothers and sisters who have passed. And I think about that all the time because, you know, it's part of life, unfortunately. We all die.
Mhm.
But,
Yeah.
you know, it also helps me keep in the focus what's important. And when I get in the ring, every single time, and I'm sure Magic has gone through it too, you know, I keep those names and on my phone to remind myself of my mortality. You know, this ride can end at any minute, and nothing's should be taken for granted when you're in the ring.
Right.
All it takes is 1 inch the wrong way, and next thing you know, everything's
Look at
taken
Big
over.
E.
So, yep, yeah.
Shoot, you could go.
It's all it's always an accident. It's never anything on purpose. We could totally kill each other if we wanted to, but everything's an accident. Just, you know, the wind blows to the left too hard one time, and next thing you know, bam. You know, so
You know, going back to that day at GCW.
Nice.
Yep.
Oh my God.
I like Nate.
Oh wow.
I like Nate. Nate was a cool dude. He was another one that was real funny.
Talk about
the scenes. We joke around a lot.
Talk about breaking kayfabe.
I believe we were there for that match.
Yes, we were.
Yeah,
I'm the one
there
who
you
took that picture.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was one of the craziest matches I've ever seen.
We
between
threw
you
Nick
guys.
Gage out of the building.
Yeah, you threw him out the back door.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was standing there watching. I was like, okay.
Wait, wasn't that for? Wasn't that the double shot with Beyond? And that was on the Beyond show. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Because I remember, I don't remember if it was Nate or if it was Nick was going for a dive, and you and Moff were just shoving everybody out of the way, be like, get out of the way, get out of the way, get out of the way.
I think it was Nick was going for the dive, if I remember correctly, and he was clearing everybody out because Nick when he gets excited, Nick gets a little wild.
Yes. Oh
You
yeah.
think?
Yeah,
Just
but
a little.
you see that picture of Mac? You see how light skinned he was?
I still am. What the
Dang.
You
fuck?
had to look between the two white guys, and I'm like, that looks like a white dude. Sorry about that, but
It's all right. Listen, if you put me in a lineup with a bunch of Hispanic men, I look like the goth guy in that group.
Let's bring that picture back up
look
again.
at it.
Just
Oh
for the
my
hell of it.
God!
It's all good.
Jesus.
It's all
Look
good.
at him.
I'm just as light as Nick Gage. How awesome is that?
Yeah.
You're
It wasn't a
just as light as
TV.
me, too.
It wasn't a
Yo, if
TV,
look
so
at
you didn't
picture,
get the
he looks
tan yet.
lighter.
Yeah,
It's
that's
like
the thing.
it's like two bounces
if
for
it's not
having
TV,
another
I'm
concert.
not tanning, you know?
Yeah.
Oh,
You
Mac,
didn't
just
get no sun that
so you
week.
know, just so you know, Mac, I just sent you that picture in Facebook Messenger.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank
No problem.
you.
I remember another time, actually the 20th anniversary show. My buddy Shane, you know Shane Fair, White Glove.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He had taken that picture of you and Moff when Homicide and Loki were shouting at you from the aisle.
Mm-hmm.
You're standing on the ropes, Moff's on the apron, and you're looking down the aisle. And he took a picture of you two.
That was
that was Calm
something.
Before the Storm.
Yep. That was something that that day, Fat Frank, one of the last conversations that Fat Frank and I had before he passed, we were talking about, it was maybe like about a month before he passed. We were talking about the Hall of Fame. And he was like, oh, you guys should go in, this year. And I was like, why don't we save it for the 20th anniversary? And that way we could do something and maybe we could wrestle each other and, just have a fun, brawl, whatever. And he was like, oh, that sounds like a good idea. So then we kind of held off on it. I'd spoken to Jeff Shapiro about the idea, and Homicide and Key as well. And we were all in agreement about doing that for the 20th anniversary. And, it kind of sucked, obviously when Frank passed away, but it also
that
gave
hurt.
it a little bit more meaning because we knew that was something that, one of the last things we talked about wrestling wise, that was what we wanted.
Right.
And we knew that Frank would have enjoyed watching us. I can't say Magic was Frank's kid because Magic was there before Frank, even though they go back to ancient times. But when it came to JP, Homicide, Moff, Key, and myself, we were Frank's kids. Jay Lethal and Dixie were Frank's kids as well, but we were that first group, along with the Haas brothers, that we were his kids. And I know he would have been happy to have seen us, all four of us, get in the ring and shout him out and shout out JP and, just represent how we always did. When you watch some of those matches from 99, 2000, 2001 with us, all you saw was a bunch of hungry animals that just wanted to, do something. And,
Just wanted to tear it up.
Yeah. And we loved wrestling. We didn't care if it was, you could have put us in an empty building and we would have been happy to just be in the ring. And, that's something that Frank was able to help us nurture and grow. And, we were able to do so many different things in wrestling because of it. And, I'll always be thankful to Frank and Bobby Lombardi from LIWF for always giving us that platform and that opportunity. And, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been able to meet someone like Magic, who changed everything. Magic at the time, he was the guy. He was how Masamak is to you guys now. That was Magic. You know what I mean? Like, he was the guy that everybody respected, everybody took advice from and listened to. And when I was coming up, the guy who was booking didn't want me to do anything. He wanted me to get killed and destroyed. And Magic was the one, like, Listen to me, kid. We'll take care of this. And Magic gave me let me get some heat on him, and it helped me stand out. And Magic told the guy, he was like, "Look, stop. You need stars. This kid's good. You know what I mean? He's the guy that's going to be one of the guys that's going to help you." And we were able to take that ball and run with it. But if not for Magic, who the hell knows what happens?
Yeah.
So,
Nah, you was a star, bro. You gonna shine no matter what, without JAP or with JAP, man. You had that hunger,
thank you.
you
Thank
know.
you. But that's
Yeah.
what happened, though. That's the catalyst that sets it off. Because without it, I don't know what steps I would have had to have taken to get to where I got. Like low key was low key. Everybody always saw him as the star. He is a star. You know what I mean? But Homicide, it took a little bit for him because people were so afraid of him because he's one of those guys that it's very hard to not believe he's Homicide. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, very intense.
And Moff just had this huge personality. I mean, he still does to this day. Huge personality, charisma, like insanity. I tell people all the time, if you want to learn how to do proper facial selling, study Moff, because he's the guy that knows how to make yourself look like a super duper star. I was blessed to have people around me like that, and that's why I'm always going to be forever grateful for JAP. And like I said, LIWF, because LIWF was where we were training when we weren't at JAP. So, but yeah, that anniversary show, that was definitely a shout out to Frank and Bobby Lombardi and everybody who helped us. So we had a lot of fun too. I remember at one point, because it was in the cage, I told Key, duck the line, I'm going to give you an overhead belly to belly. And I threw him into the cage. And as I'm throwing him into the cage, now listen, he might get mad that I'm telling this, but I don't care anymore. As I'm throwing him into the cage, low-key let out a whee.
I heard that because I was ringside. I was dealing with Jaka on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
I was out there as the medic dealing with Jaka on the outside.
Yeah, I mean, Key likes to sneak in little things, but only let certain people hear. Obviously, I'm his cousin. We're like brothers, so I always hear all the madness that he throws out. But he'll do things like when he does the double stomp off the top, he lets out a monkey scream. That's what I like to call it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
You never really hear it, but if you have headphones on while you're watching the tape or something, you'll catch it.
Yeah. So going back to the calm before the storm, there's a picture.
Oh.
What's funny is when we were at the 20th anniversary show, I was just walking around. It was like 10 minutes to show time, 10 minutes to bell time. And I see Shane sitting in like the third row, and he's shaking his hands like, damn, I can't get it. Because you had already signed the picture for him.
Mm-hmm.
He'd gotten you at another show, but he hadn't been able to get a hold of Moff.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, what's the matter? He's like, I want to get this signed by Moff, but I can't get a hold of him. I looked at him and said, give him the damn picture. I took the picture. I walked in the back. I showed it to Moff. He's like, oh, hell yeah. Signed that thing right then and there. Handed it back to me. I come walking back out like Cheshire Cat. Walk over to him and said, here you go. And you can even see the autographs on it, too.
What's crazy is...
Yeah, I see it now.
That night, that was Saturday night in Bayonne. And then the next morning, we had to drive to Massachusetts for Beyond Wrestling, and we wrestled War Machine. And because that night, the match had gotten so insane, we were doing so much yelling that I had no voice the next day. So we had a great match with War Machine, or War Raiders, now in WWE. And at the end, we had to cut a little promo with them. And throughout the whole match, you could hear my, you know what I mean? And everybody's like, what the hell happened? so that
Yeah.
I cut my promo and I sound so horrible, but you can hear people mocking me.
You can't talk. You can't
Yeah.
talk.
Well, no, they were just because it was, my voice normally sounds like this, but that day was like, you know what I mean? And I had to talk about, the code of honor and stuff, and I sounded so insane. But that was a lot of fun, though.
That's the whole thing. Excuse me. That's the whole thing, man. Having fun, bro. You know.
Yeah.
You know. Some people need their asses whooped in this business, but the whole idea is having fun.
Yep.
Well, yeah. I mean,
I know.
forgets.
I know about you, Steve. If somebody got in your skin, you're having fun whooping his ass.
Of course. You
You know what I'm talking about, right?
This is supposed to be a fight, and they act like, oh, let's just choreograph a whole skit. No, it's not that. You could be entertaining, you could be artistic, but you got to remember, no matter what, it's a fight, and the second you forget that, that's when you lose everybody.
You gotta keep it strong.
I thought we just lost somebody, but Brain shrunk the screen.
Yeah.
It's all good.
I took the picture down.
Yeah.
One thing I loved about that night was like it's one of the only show. No, it's the only show ever. I literally just got to walk straight from my house because it was at Marist, and I was saying to myself, really, you're able to do wrestling now in Marist? It makes it so much easier for me because I'm like a block away from the diner, and I remember running into you, Magic. It was me and Rob. We were sitting by ourselves eating, and you came up and you showed us love, and I was like, man, it felt so good because I was just like just a fan and showing me love like that, man. That was beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said that's just how Magic is. Magic is a nice guy in and out. So you respect the business, he respects you when he gives props to you when he sees you in person. That's all I was gonna
Well, let's not talk about me. Let's talk about the Mac here. Yo, Mac, what's the best match you ever had?
So
Tag and
there's a
single.
couple of them. There's a couple.
All right, give us your top three.
All right, my favorite of all time is at Beyond when we wrestled Gargano and Ciampa.
Nice.
That, I mean, just saying the names, you guys understand the level of competition. But it's more than how great the wrestling was. For me, it was, and then match number 2 is going to be in the same thing. For me, it was, I already had a run with Moff. 15 years passed. I had no idea of what I still had in the tank. And, Moff and I were starting this cool-ass run at Beyond and JP. And, we know that we got told like 2 weeks before, you're going to wrestle Gargano and Ciampa. Okay, cool. They're making all this noise as like, the independent guys at NXT, and they're starting to blow up big time. And, I kind of was worried about where I was going to fall in line because, at this point, I'm just like, oh, I'm old. I'm past my prime, whatever, Because, when you stay humble and low-key, that's what you think. You know what I mean? But, that match showed me that I can hang, and I was able to have a banger with those guys, and why the hell not with anybody else? So then the second match, we wrestled Private Party at House of Glory when they did Beyond X House of Glory later on that summer. And I talk about it every once in a while, House of Glory is a place that, like, at times it felt special to me, but not as special as a JP or whatever, because I just wasn't there. They didn't use me. And one of the people in the back, after the match with Private Party, we had an awesome match. But one of the guys in the back who ran the place came up to me And he was like, you know, I thought you were just using the Hit Squad name, you and Moff, to get bookings and to get yourself over, but you guys put in some work. And, you know, I want to apologize to you. And for someone to do that, who, you know, let's face it, if you're the owner of a company, you don't have to say anything to anybody. You know what I mean? But the fact that he did that, it showed me that, you know, damn, I'm doing something right. This is awesome. You know what I mean? And then my third favorite is going back to 2000. I want to say it was November 2000. Loki and I wrestled a singles match, first time ever main eventing for JAP in Bayonne. And I love my cousin. He's my brother. We have like the best chemistry. Me and Moff have great chemistry. But me and Key have, you know, obviously we have like, you know, telepathic chemistry. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We grew up together watching the same shit in the same house and whatever. And, you know, no matter what, no matter how far we are, how much time passed, we'll always have that same thing with me and Moff. So, you know, the fact that those three matches, both, you know, two of them involve Moff, one of them involves Key. You know, I have some with Homicide being in Japan, where we did 6-man with Homicide against Sekimoto, who's one of the top, you know, independent talents in Japan. Ito, who's one of the deathmatch gods in Japan, and their trainer Men's Teo, who he was in WWE. We had a 6-man, and that was our best match in Japan. And the fact that I got to do it with Homicide and Moff, and the same week, Loki was in Japan, Red, SAT was in Japan, Brian Danielson, Samoa Joe, all my boys were in Japan all the same week. Like, how could I ever say anything's better than that? You know what I mean? Like, to me, I always see myself as just some fat kid from Brooklyn. So whenever anything massive happened, I always took it as like, holy shit, it can't get any better than that. And, you know, there's been a bunch of things that happened that were awesome. Winning Tournament for Tomorrow for Beyond, winning tag belts at JP 8 times. You know, just everything that I've done, you know, achievement wise have been awesome. But, you know, those are the ones that stick out the most. And, you know, no matter what anybody says, you know, I got to do it with my boys, man. No matter what, that's like the coolest fucking shit ever. You know,
Well,
I know Magic has something like that.
I need to ask you a question. When you worked at LWF, right, for the Doghouse, you was a lightweight.
Yes.
Remember you fought for the lightweight title?
Yeah. I did it. So for NWA New York,
Yeah.
LWF and JAP, I fought for the light heavyweight titles, which I don't know what actually I was ranked number 8 NWA for the light heavyweight title at one point. So go figure. Smallest I ever weighed was like 230 in wrestling. So
remember the first time I go to what is it? Pedro's gym, the church.
Yep.
And we were watching you, and he was like him. I fell in love with him and Loki right away. They was like going in, and I'm sitting there looking. I'm like, Gino, remember Gino? I'm like, Gino, these guys, we're gonna have to wrestle these guys. They ain't no lightweight day.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, they were good, man. That was Louis' show, wasn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
Louis,
yes. Hang on one second, guys. Go ahead, JP. Said you had something.
Yeah. Before I get off of here, Steve, you just mentioned people, some of your favorite matches over your career. Who are some people that you did not get to wrestle that you wish you could have? Singles or tag?
Strangely enough, I always wanted to wrestle the Rock and Roll Express. Me and Moff against the Rock and Roll Express.
That would have been a banger.
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, there's been a couple of guys. I never had either a straight tag match or one-on-one with Samoa Joe. We've been in the ring together in Ring of Honor, but I would have liked to have done some work with Joe. There's not many others because pretty much, you know, like actually I got to cross off somebody with Michael Fain 2 weeks ago because he's someone I've been watching for a long time, and we had a great match. There's a few
Exactly.
people that like if it happened, it happened, but it wasn't like I needed it to happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But as far as like I needed it, I wanted it. American Dragon, Samoa Joe, and well, I can't say Samoa Joe again because we wrestled in like a 20-man match. But probably AJ Styles, because we were supposed to have a tag match, but the show got canceled. So but those are the main guys pretty much that I would have definitely done some work with. But Rock and Roll Express is on top of that list.
Yeah. That's a good
What was the worst match you ever had? Magic, right?
No, not even close.
The worst match you ever had with Magic.
I've had some matches that I'm like, holy God, I don't even want to be here. But honestly speaking, I really don't have anything specific in my head because like when it's a bad match, you just forget about it. You can't dwell on it because if you bring it with you the next day, you're never going to get better. I just leave it out in my brain and keep it moving. But there happens. I mean, there was one time this kid at the doghouse, he really thought he was something special. And he came in, he looked at the list, he goes, "Who the fuck is Monster Mac?" And everybody's like, "Oh." So I hear him yelling downstairs. I don't hear what he's saying. I just hear noise. And I forgot who it was, came upstairs, and they were like, you should probably talk to this kid that you're going to wrestle tonight. I was like, okay. So I go, and I hear him now. Yeah, why I gotta wrestle Monster Mac and lose to him? So I said, hey, I can't remember his name. I was like, hey, me and you tonight. I'll see you out there in the ring. What the fuck does that mean? I said, you could either show up and find out, or you could fucking go home and save yourself the ass whipping. And he showed up, and the best part is, I didn't even fuck him up. I didn't do anything to him. It was the people I came out to the ring with. There was one friend, and then there was Loki. And the two of them let him know he kind of fucked up. So,
locker room justice.
Yeah, sometimes that has to happen. People need to learn the lesson.
Yeah.
One thing I want to ask is because I remember I saw you share a tweet the other day that reminded me because, as my friends here know, I'm such a mark and I love Ring of Honor. So I saw your tweet for the anniversary and I believe it was it a picture or a video of you at the rec center, Murphy Rec?
So there was two things that I shared. There was a picture of me and Moff saying happy birthday, and then there was a picture of a tweet that I think it was Ring of Honor put out of the first year, the first show, like a highlight and stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
So, but what I wanted to ask was, how was it to wrestle at the Murphy Rec Center? Because I've heard nothing but horror stories about that place.
I love that place. I mean, it could be because I like smaller venues.
Yeah.
So my favorite thing of that building was when we went downstairs, because that's where the locker room was. There was a small locker room, and then there was a big open locker room. And the small locker room was the New York locker room. So like Christopher Street Connection, Hit Squad, everybody from New York, basically, that we were all cool, would get dressed there along with the girls, because the girls always felt safe with us, right? But everybody else, didn't matter if they were like Japanese superstars or regular American superstar, whoever, they all were out in the big locker room. Everybody wanted to hang out in the New York locker room, But to be honest, the only bad time, and it wasn't that it was a bad time. The only like not memorable moment was the night that they crowned the champion, because it was legit like about 150 degrees in the building.
Yes.
With all the people there, it was insanely hot, packed. And, I watched the four-way between Key, Doug Williams, Christopher Daniels, and was it American Dragon? No. Or Spanky. I don't remember who was the fourth.
I can look it up right now.
But whoever the fourth, I watched, and it was so hot. And we already had wrestled, so we were dying. Moff and I were watching, sweating, and, as soon as Key won, Moff and I were ringside, and it was insanely hot that you could see steam coming off everybody, and I remember, Key cutting the promo after he won, shouting out Russ Haas and carrying him down because he really couldn't even stand, and he's one of the most well-conditioned people I've known my entire life. And he couldn't stand, so I carried him down. And we all were talking about how hot it was.
Yeah.
Maybe next year we should find a building with an AC.
Because that's all I've heard about that place is that it's never had good AC. It was always cram-packed. Yeah,
it was awesome. But
the fourth person was Spanky.
Spanky, yes. Yeah, I knew it was. I figured that. I think Dragon had a Japanese store, and that's why he wasn't on. I remember.
Oh shit! I'm losing everything over here.
Yo, guys, I'm sorry I have to leave y'all guys. So my truck came in.
Yeah, no problem.
No problem, brother.
Uh-huh.
We appreciate you popping in, brother.
people won't get meat if I don't take the meat out of the trucks.
Thank you for coming on, Magic.
I love you, Steve. I love you guys. And always got your back, Steve, no matter what.
Same here, bro. Same here.
All right, y'all have a good night, guys. Enjoy the rest of your week.
All right, man. You too, brother. Thanks for popping in.
Nah, thank you, guys. But ask Steve what's the funniest moment he ever had in his life in wrestling before I leave.
Kind of a loaded question because there's been many of them. A lot of weird, wacky things happen. Do you have one, Magic, that you can?
I always have a weird one when I wrestle a guy. What's his name? He's for $5 wrestling.
What?
The
Freight
big
Train?
black dude. I think Freight Chain. Yeah.
Freight Train, yeah.
Remember when they brought WrestleMania to New York and they had the wrestling at the other building? I can't remember that building. And BWO. Huh?
White Eagle Hall.
Yeah. And they had wrestling there for like 24 hours there that night.
2019, White Eagle Hall, 11 shows in 3 days, and I was there for
Yes.
every single one of them.
Yeah.
Was you there when I wrestled A-Train? Whatever his name is?
Freight Train?
Yo, yeah, Freight Train. I get in the ring with him, right? We locked up, right? I try to pick him up right away. Lock up, push him down, take it. Because he don't do much. I tried to pick him up, and he fell, and he never got back up. And I'm like, dude, get up. I'm kicking him, get up. And the promoter was laughing his ass off. And he the one told me he wanted to wrestle me. I was just walking around, and he saw me, and I was like, yo, I like that belt. How you get that belt? You got to wrestle me for it. I said, bet, let's make a deal. So the promoter saw me, and he said, oh, I know who you are. I see you on Facebook and on what they call YouTube. And when I was locked up with him, trying to snatch his head after I picked him up, he fell down. And for 2 minutes, I was kicking his ass on the ground. So I had to grab his ear to pick him up. When you grab people's ears and you twist it, picking them up, they're going to get up.
Yeah.
So I got him up. I picked him up and fell back. And 1, 2, 3, I was like, I'm out of here, man. Yeah, that's the weirdest wrestling match I ever had.
Excellent.
Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. I remember a guy that Steve tore his ass up. It was at that disco club. It was at a club. Jason Knight was there. I wrestled at Jason Knight. And then dude, you was like, yeah, you said you want to talk crap, and it was no holding back.
Well, listen,
You
when
you made that guy humble.
when a guy tries to punch you in the dick full force,
You made him humble.
well, sometimes
We're not saying I ain't saying names, but he made him humble quickly.
sometimes you gotta do what you
I
gotta
don't
do.
think his partner got in the ring.
Well, no. So what happened was it was supposed to be me and Moff against him and Orphan, and
Right.
instead, after that, he got taken off the show and they replaced him with Lathon. We had a great match, though. You know what I mean?
I love Layton, man.
Yeah, I do too. I miss him.
I miss him, bro. Yeah. I missed his squad, man. They was pretty good, man.
They're right.
And then Steve went solo. He did really good too, solo.
Thank
You know, he got the wrestle Vader.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of people that I've been fortunate. Guys like the Steiners, Road Warriors, Demolition,
Yes.
the Samoans, Samu and Fatu. I
Yep.
got to get in there with Alpha one time. I got to get in there with Batista as my partner for one time. So many people, and then look at the guys, the younger guys like Jay Lethal, Briscoe Brothers, the SAT,
Right.
Like I said, Ciampa Gargano, the War Raiders, Keith Lee, you name them, I've been in the ring with them. Some of my favorites were Joker and G's. They were awesome to get in the ring with. I always had a great time with them. And like I said, I've been fortunate because I had some great partners, guys like Magic, Kyle the Beast, Low Life Louie, Moff,
Another lovely man.
Just
Christian Street Connection.
I love Christopher Street Connection. I try to tell everybody about them because those guys blaze the trail for everybody else to come after them. And they get the credit that they deserve, I feel like, all the time. So I try to shout them out as much as possible. But
The rotten schedules was, dirty rotten schedules. Y'all beat up.
they were all right. They should have been bigger than what they were, but stuff happens. Sometimes it don't work the way that we think it's gonna work. But they definitely had the skills. There was so many talents in New York and New Jersey and Connecticut and Pennsylvania, and like I said, if you made it in this area, you were talented because you couldn't be talented and make it in this area. So it was definitely swimming with sharks. And I was telling somebody not too long ago, people would leave, go to North Carolina, Atlanta, Florida, and make a name for themselves down there because up here was so full of talent, and you couldn't suck and make it up here.
No,
you were a ticket seller if you sucked, and you never really got much burn if you were, So, the guys like Boogie Nights, Boogaloo, Lowrider, those are guys who, I loved working with. They were very super talented guys, and like I said, the whole crew just in this area, Quiet Storm, Chris Devine, even my man Guapo. You remember Guapo, right, Magic?
Yep.
He was somebody that he should have got more burn, but like I said, this area, you either sank or you swam. It would eat you up if you didn't swim. So
Exactly, man. You was from New York, man, with a lot of people, and they were coming after your job.
Yeah.
So they're gonna work harder. So you had to work harder.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But the best show I seen with Steve Mack was when the Hit Squad, the whole Hit Squad finally got together. It was you, Homicide, against Chris Dickinson and his group.
That was in Bayonne with Pazuzu.
Yeah, that was our last show.
Yep.
That was home.
Yeah.
No, that was not.
Was that Homecoming? No, it wasn't Homecoming.
Was Homecoming, and then Calm Before the Storm. I
think it was Calm Before the Storm.
It was,
yes.
It was Homecoming. It was the Suicide Rules.
It was that I can't remember
Where-
the building.
where
but
you
it's not
got-
there anymore.
Where you got
No,
knocked
it's a
out.
Costco now.
Well, guys, I gotta go because the
Yeah.
truck is waiting for me. Love you
Take
guys
care,
again.
Madge.
See, Mac, you know I love you to death, man.
Love you too, Magic.
And you're
Magic,
always gonna be my
you're
my
always
little
welcome,
brother.
You're always
Thank
welcome.
you, guys.
All right,
So
take care.
see y'all
Magic.
later.
Yep, definitely.
Yeah, I was excited for that place in Bayonne because it was supposed to be like an event center. I was like,
Mhm.
oh, cool. Jersey All Pro is going to run here, hopefully, quite frequently. And then, like within a year, it's a Costco.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man.
That was an insane show.
It was.
You want to hear something funny, Mac? That show is where I met the two knuckleheads next to you in the screen.
Yep.
Nice.
We were sitting right next to each other,
That's
and we
what's
just
up.
started talking.
Yep.
And then I started coming out with some of the love child alerts. I was just blowing their minds with some of these guys.
You know, it's funny because I went to Bloodsport when it was in Jersey City in November, and
Oh shit, I was there too.
there was. I mean, it's crazy. There was a lot of people I hadn't seen in a while, and there
Yeah.
was a couple of JP fans, Sean and his boys, his crew. They were there, and they were telling me how they met because they came to JP in Rahway, and there's a lot of people who became friends because whether it's JP or any other company, you sit next to people and you see them a couple of times in a row, and next thing you know, you guys talking and what other shows are there? You know what I mean? And everybody just starts getting organized, and it's cool that wrestling can bring people together like that and form lifelong friendships.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Oh hell yeah.
It's amazing
So-
what wrestling could do.
So I met Dollar Bill through a mutual friend of ours,
Mhm.
and then one night a couple days before a show, he texts me, calls me, and says, "Hey, you want to go to a wrestling show on Saturday?" I'm like, "Sure." Where? He's like, "Edison." I'm like, what show? Ring of Honor. I'm like, I've heard of these guys. I want to see these guys. So we went. We had a good time. On the way back, we stopped at the Applebee's on 1 and 9 in
Mhm.
Linden.
Oh yeah.
We're sitting there eating, and in walks Jay Lethal and a couple of the other guys from Ring of Honor that night.
Mhm.
Walked right
Yeah.
past us, said, "You guys were in the front row, weren't you?" I'm like, "Yeah, we were." They shook our hands, said, "Thanks for coming. Did you have a good time?" We're like, "Yeah, we had a great time." And then they went and sat at their table. We finished our meal and headed home. And damn, Dollar Bill, you and I, damn, we're friends almost 20 years now.
Yeah, it's been forever.
Yeah.
Time flies. Time flies.
Yeah.
I
And then
just
I met
Hold on,
Assassin.
Hold up. I just want to let you guys know that I just got an alert on my phone. It's my bedtime reminder to go to bed.
It's always midnight, yeah.
So I got like 5 more minutes before I turn into a pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
I thought you already were.
Not yet. Soon.
But I was at a Pro Wrestling Magic show, and that's where I ended up meeting Assassin.
hmm
We had a good time at that show. I ended up going to work at that show too.
Nice.
I ended up working as a medic for them for a couple of shows
That's what's up.
because Casey Catal took a knee to the face, busted her nose wide open.
She stays cracking her nose open. What's wrong with that chick?
But
And now
the 20th
her-
anniversary show,
Tired.
20th anniversary show, Dr. Hertz tried to put a hurting on Jake. Then Jake speared him through the door,
hmm
and I was in the back dealing with Dr. Hertz because he was having a hard time breathing because Jake
Mhm.
hit him Jake hit him hard.
Yeah.
And Jake was a football player at the time, so he knew how to deliver a spear.
hmm
And then somebody taps me and says, "They need you to take a look outside." And it's the match between Sumi Sakai and Deanna Perrazzo.
Oh, Sumi caught
yeah.
accidentally.
Yeah, caught Deanna under the eye.
hmm
So Johnny Q puts the X up at the end of the match. I go out, I check on Deanna. I see Sumi's cut too, but it's not as bad. But
Mhm.
Deanna's got a 2-inch laceration under her eye.
Yeah.
So we go in the back. I'm bandaging her up, and it's that wide open. I'm like, you need stitches. She's like, oh no, I can't have stitches now. I'm like, you got to go get stitches.
Yep.
So
I remember that, Max. I remember that.
yeah, so the cop that was there called for the ambulance. They brought her over to the hospital, which happened to be like 6 blocks away.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets all stitched. I said to her, you're going to catch at least 6. You're going to catch at least 6 stitches, without a doubt. So about an hour and a half, 2 hours later, I'm in the back. I'm talking to Homicide, and I'm actually bandaging his head because he still had stitches from a match about a week and a half earlier where he got busted
Mhm.
open.
Yeah, yeah.
And we were talking about what he wanted me to do during the steel cage match. What he wanted to happen with me. I'm like, okay. And Deanna and Sumi come back from the hospital because they both went together.
Mhm.
Sumi had just gotten Dermabond on her chin. Deanna's got the bandage on her face, and she taps me on the shoulder and says, thank you very much for your help earlier. I'm like, okay, how many? She's like, what? How many stitches? She's like, she kind of hung her head. She's like, 6. She's like, and I'm like, I knew it. She's like, how? And at that time, I had been doing EMS for almost 18 years. So, and I'm like, I've been doing this for 18 years. I can tell how many
Mhm.
stitches somebody's going to catch when they get a
Of
cut.
course. Yep.
And it was just hilarious and then the next year, it was at a Pro Wrestling Magic show, as a matter of fact. I ran into her, and I got a picture of her with her. Then I got another picture standing there with Mac, with Moff talking, where we're both giving each other the finger.
Nice.
And she had just signed with, I think she had just signed with WWE.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, that's the great thing about JP. You got to see all the future stars legit before they got signed at JP up close and personal.
Yep.
And the majority of them were cool people. I
Oh
was
yeah,
happy to
definitely.
work with, everybody that I worked with. And I'll always be forever grateful for all my JP experiences, whether it's the wrestlers, the fans, whoever. There weren't too many people where you were like, that guy's a dick. Everybody was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And it was always a real fun, relaxed vibe. Even on big shows,
Yeah.
People were stressed out because they had big matches, but nobody was there like putting pressure on anybody. Everybody was chill, and you got to learn, you got to work, and have fun.
The one time I could say that there was a serious stress level at a Jersey All Pro show
Mhm.
was the day that Alberto Del Rio and Paige were there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But you know what? They weren't. It wasn't like they were fighting or anything like that. It was.
No, he was just
it
being a
still-
dick to begin with.
Well, listen, I can't say what his deal was, but I can say this. If you're someone who's under the influence, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a jerk to people around you when you're in a familiar environment. And, like I said, I didn't get anything from him. She was cool with us, and that was it. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I heard a couple of people talk about him, but you saw that was like a one and done.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, which is fine. That happens. But again, it wasn't like there was, a constant thing where, you got to watch out for this dick or watch out for that dick. Or,
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite things was Rey Mysterio coming to work. Okay.
Ray and Loki, that was a classic match. And one other great match that I saw at Jersey All Pro, 2 of the best high flyers in the business, even now.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Sydal and AJ Styles.
Yeah, that was a great match too. Well, I was gonna say was Ray could have come in and he could have been the biggest jerk in the world because he's one of the most famous wrestlers in the world. And Ray came, got dressed with us, and didn't go to any superstar locker room or anything like that. Hung out with all the boys, joked around with us. If somebody wanted a picture, he gave it them, to them with no problem. Mad chill, and when I saw him a couple of years later working as an extra in WWE, he remembered me and he was like, "What's up, big man?" and gave me a huge hug and like, you know what I mean? Like he's one of the most famous wrestlers in the history of the world.
Yeah,
Not to say anything,
but he's always been that way
he's
with
mad
people.
Cool.
He's always been that way with people.
Yeah.
So.
All right, sirs. I am going to call it a night.
Yes, indeed.
The pleasure,
Mac,
man.
thank you for coming on, brother.
Thank you for
Anytime you
Thank
want to
you.
come on the show, hit me up, and you're more than welcome to come on. We can talk anything you want, man.
You know me, I could talk all night. I got to be up early, so
Yeah.
otherwise I'll be here.
That's actually why JP bounced out earlier, because he's been up since like 2:00 in the morning.
I love wrestling. I love JP, and I love all the guys and girls who worked and supported all the places that I worked with. JP, especially JP, was always my home, and I know you guys are all Team JP, so I will talk to you guys all day. You know what I mean? But
Awesome.
Indeed.
I appreciate you guys having me on, though.
No problem, Mac. I appreciate you coming on, brother.
All right, be safe. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care, Mac.
You too. Take care.
You too,
All
sir.
right. Good times.
And oh yeah, going back down memory lane with one of the best in the business. Two of the best in the business. Two of the
Great
best in the
memories.
business. Yeah.
Mhm.
But gentlemen, next week the draft continues.
It could
Oh,
take-
yeah.
Dun 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 dun. Dun.
Da, 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 da,
Dun, dun.
da.
But gentlemen, great show. Always a great show. And until next week, when the draft continues, too sweet.
You're sweet.
Too sweet.